You know, the choice you make with the spare $100 today could literally shape your entire financial future. I know, it sounds like a huge claim for a pretty small amount of money, but today we're putting it to the test. We're going to run a simple 1-year challenge. $100, two very different paths. So let's dive in and see where they take us. So, just imagine it. You've got an extra $100 in your hand right now. What is the smartest possible play for the next 12 months? It seems like a simple question, right? But the answer really gets to the heart of how we think about our money. Let's break down the two main options you've got.
Okay, first up, we have the path of saving. You should think of this as the ultimate financial safe harbor. It's the whole strategy built on security, designed to protect your cash from those stormy, unpredictable seas of the financial markets.
So, what do we actually mean when we say saving? Well, it's pretty simple. It is all about keeping your money safe. You're basically just parking it somewhere secure, usually a bank, where it's protected and you can get to it whenever you need it. The goal here isn't to get rich quick. It's just to guarantee that every single dollar you put in will be there when you come back for it.
And how it works, super, super simple. You take your principal, in our case, the $100, and you pop it into what's called a high-yield savings account. That account then pays you a set amount of interest. It is totally predictable, it's reliable, and there are absolutely no surprises.
So, what can you actually expect to earn? Right now, a pretty good high-yield savings account is paying around 4.5% annual percentage yield, or APY. Just think of this as your guaranteed reward. It's the profit the bank pays you just for letting them hold on to your money for a year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, so let's fast forward. We've let our $100 sit safely in that account for a full 365 days, just quietly earning interest. What's the final tally? And there it is. Your $100 has turned into $104.50. You've made a profit of $450, completely risk-free. Now, sure, in the real world, inflation might chip away at that gain a tiny bit, but here's the key. Your original $100 was never, ever in danger. That's the real power of the safe harbor. All right, now let's switch gears and explore the other path, investing. If saving is the safe harbor, then you should think of investing as the growth engine. It's a totally different machine, running on a different principle with a completely different goal in mind. See, investing means you're actually using your money to buy an asset, like a tiny little piece of a company when you buy a stock. The goal here isn't just to keep your money safe, it's all about growth. You are intentionally taking on a calculated risk, all for the chance to earn a much, much higher return. This chart, wow, it really paints the perfect picture of what we mean by risk. In any given year, the market can go down, and you could actually end up with less than what you started with. But as you can see, the potential for a big win is also there. The outcome isn't just one single number, it's a whole spectrum of possibilities. So to make a fair comparison in our challenge, we can't just cherry pick a great year or a terrible year. That wouldn't be right. Instead, we're going to use the long-term historical average return for the stock market. It's really the most honest way to do it. And historically, that number shakes out to be right around 10% per year. Now again, this is just an average. Some years are way higher, some are lower, some are even negative. But it gives us a really solid number to work with for what this growth engine can do in a typical year. So, what's the potential outcome for our investment? If our $100 was in the market and it had a perfectly average year, what would that look like? And there you have it, $110. That's a $10 gain, more than double what we got from saving. But, and this is the most important but of the day, that $110 comes with a giant flashing asterisk that says on average. Unlike the $104.50, this number was never, ever a guarantee. All right, time for the main event. Let's put these two strategies right next to each other for the showdown. This is where the differences really pop. Okay, let's break this table down, because it really tells the whole story. Look at the goal for saving, preservation. That demands a very low risk level. Now look at investing. The goal is growth, and that means you have to accept some risk to get that higher potential reward. One gives you instant access to your cash, the other asks for more patience. It's the classic trade-off, really, certainty versus potential. You know, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this right here. Saving and investing aren't enemies. They're just different tools for different jobs, right? You wouldn't use a hammer to saw a piece of wood, and you probably shouldn't use a savings account for a goal that's 20 years away. So, what does all this mean for your $100? Well, this brings us to the most important question. What is the right move for you? It all comes down to your personal goals. So think about it like this. What job are you hiring this money to do? If you need it for an emergency fund or for a down payment on a car next year, you absolutely cannot risk that money shrinking. In that case, saving is your champion. Its safety is exactly what you need. But if you're looking at a goal that is way, way down the road, 5, 10, 20 years from now, like retirement, then you need that money to really work for you. And that's where investing's growth engine becomes your most powerful tool.
So in our 1-year challenge, the difference was what? About $5. It doesn't seem like a big deal. But I want to leave you with a final thought. What happens if we just stretch that timeline out? What if that invested $100 grew at that same 10% average, not for 1 year, but for 20? It wouldn't be $110. It would be worth over $670. And the saved money? About $240. Now that is a difference worth thinking about. Over the long term, the power of compounding isn't just about a few dollars. It's everything.